Hello again, and welcome to another Nimbus Stories, here from my shed quarters. I hope that you are in your den that you made last time, and if you're not, I hope that you are lovely and cosy and warm wherever you are. Now, I've got another story to tell you, a really exciting one, all about Jesus. Now, Jesus and his disciples, that's his followers and his friends, were travelling across Lake Galilee because they had been really busy and they wanted a bit of a rest. Now, when they got to the other side, Jesus and his friends decided to walk up the hill to sit on a grassy verge and just have a little bit of rest. Jesus and his friends saw coming up the hill towards them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. They were all walking together because they had heard that Jesus was going to be there and they really wanted to meet him. They had heard about Jesus's miracles and all the amazing things that Jesus had been doing, and they wanted to hear what he had to say. Wow! Jesus' friends couldn't believe how many people there were. Jesus looked down at all of the people. There must have been about 5,000 men, plus all the women and all the children. That makes a lot of people. And they looked like they had been travelling for a really long time. Jesus looked at them and saw how hungry they looked. Jesus turned to his friend Philip. Philip, where's the closest shop? Because we need to buy as much food as possible for all these people. Philip looked at Jesus, astonished. Jesus, we would have to work for weeks and months to buy enough food for these people. Jesus knew exactly what he was doing. At that point, he turned around and saw one of his disciples coming towards him with a little boy. This boy had in his hand a basket, and this basket was full of food. Do you know how much food was in this basket? There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loaves of bread and 1, 2 little fish. Ooh, was this going to be enough food to feed all these people? Jesus said, "Perfect, I'll take it." He took the basket of food from the little boy and he picked up a loaf of bread. He looked at it and then he looked up and he thanked God for this food. He did the same, holding the tiny little fish, and he looked up and he thanked God for this food. It seemed so small, but it was going to be so big. Jesus broke the bread and put it in lots of different baskets and gave it to each one of his disciples. And he said to them, "Gather all these people, get them to sit round in groups on this grass and begin to hand out this food. It may seem little, but it will be a lot." So the disciples picked up the food and went around to all the people, handing out as much food as they could. They looked in their basket, and every time they thought it was going to run out, there was more. And they handed out the food, and they looked down thinking it would run out, and there was more. And they handed out more food, and they looked down thinking it would run out, and there was more. The food never ran out, and everybody was fed. Not one person was left hungry. It seemed a little, but it turned into a lot. The disciples went back to Jesus, so excited by what they had seen. They brought back with them not just empty baskets, but 12 baskets full of food. Not only had all the people been fed, but there were leftovers to spare. They could not believe it. At that point, they realised and they knew that Jesus really was the Son of God. Now, right now, it might seem a little bit scary, like your food might run out, or maybe you see all the people queuing up outside the supermarkets. But you know what? Jesus says that he will always provide for us. He will always give us exactly what we need. And here we saw Jesus multiplying. That means he made more than there even was to start with. And I know that God will do that for us. So today, every time you eat your food, why don't you thank God for it? Because he provides for us. Now, thank you so much for listening to today's Nimbus story. Tomorrow, we are going to be doing some drama again, exploring this story together. So why don't you join me tomorrow morning at 10:30 and we're going to be doing some drama together. And why don't you also spread the word? Tell your friends and maybe we'll be able to see them there tomorrow as well. Thank you so much for watching and listening to today's Nimbus story, and I really hope to see you tomorrow. Have a great day.